Hello, second hour math. We are going to go over the second half of order of operations. So the stuff we did not fully go over yesterday. So just as a refresher, let's go over the order of operations again. Okay, so order of operations, we are looking at PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, that's called an acronym. So parentheses, exponents, multiplication, dividing, adding, subtracting. And just remember, if you have two parentheses, two exponents, two multiply, two divide, two add, two subtract, you work the one on the left side first, just like you read, left to right. Alright? If you have multiplication and division in the same problem, you work the one on the left first and then work on to the right. Same thing with adding and subtracting. If you have both in a problem, you work the... This is where I'm waiting. I'm hoping you're thinking this in your head. One on the left first, then work your way on towards the right. Okay, so yesterday in our notes, the examples, we were just coming up with which operation we did first. So we looked at this one and said, okay, should we add or should we multiply? So we go over to our list and we're like, oh, it's got to be multiply because it comes first and adding's down here. And that's all you had to put on yesterday's homework. Okay, so the second one, we said, okay, do we multiply or subtract? Well, multiply or subtract. It's got to be multiply, it comes first. Okay, we looked at this one and said, oh, we have parentheses. That's at the very top of the list. We've got to do that one first before anything else because it's at the top. Okay, then we looked at this one and said, add, subtract, and multiply. But multiply comes first. Okay, on number 5, we went, uh-oh, this looks super complicated. We've got two sets of parentheses. Well, we know that we work the one on the left side first. So left side first. Okay, so that was the material we covered yesterday. We covered this yesterday too, but this is today's lesson right here. This was our problem, 4 plus 3 times 7. And we ask ourselves, okay, add or multiply, which comes first? Add or multiply? It's multiply. So we had to do 3 times 7 first. 3 times 7, 21. And this part of the problem right here that we did not use, we just bring it down. Okay, the 3 and the 7 go away. We used those, we turned those into 21. Those are gone. Okay? Once we write down the 4 plus the 21, we are ignoring the line above it. If you need to cover it up with your finger, do it. If you need to take a sheet of paper like this and cover it up to help you, kind of gets rid of all of this. If that helps you focus and keeps you on track, do it. Okay, so the next part of the problem, 4 plus 21. We don't have to go through the order of operations. There's one. This is back to like first grade. We just say, okay, well, what's 21 plus 4? If you need a calculator, use it. 21 plus 4, 25. When you show your work on these, your problem should look like a funnel. Okay, so, here's the top of the funnel. And there's the sides of the funnel. It should always come down to that, not do like a straight point, but it should come down somewhat pointy. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Got my pages mixed up when I was covering up that. All right, so I'm gonna do this. If I can get that all in the screen and keep it straight for you guys. I think we can make this work. Yeah, we can make this work. Okay. Yesterday we also worked this problem. 8 times 8 minus 7. So we ask ourselves, multiply or subtract? Multiply, subtract. It's got to be multiply. It comes first. So we do 8 times 8. I drew my little arrows there so I knew that's what I was doing. Okay, 8 times 8, 64. Bring down, which you don't use, so that's what I did. I wrote down minus 7. Now, that line's gone. We have simplified that problem because 64 minus 7 is a lot simpler than that line. So, we don't need it anymore. Cover it up if you need to. Put a piece of paper over it. Do whatever you need to make this work for you. Okay, and then we do 64 minus 7. If you have problems with subtraction and borrowing, use your calculator. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Okay, I boxed in my answer of 57, and then we went on to 8. Okay, that one's really long, right? If you look at that, it's long. It's no harder. You still do the same stuff. You ask yourself, okay, I've got add and 2 subtracts. Okay, so add and subtracts. I'm supposed to work those from left to right. Okay, so that's all we have to do. We start on the left side. 10 plus 5, 15. The stuff we didn't use, which was this, we brought it down to the next line. Then we ask ourselves, all right, subtract and subtract. Oh yeah, we're supposed to work that from left to right. So 15 minus 4 is 11. Bring down that minus 2 that you didn't use. 11 minus 2, 9. I didn't draw my little arrows. Okay, and again, one thing I didn't point out, look how these come down. I want to say a point, even though it doesn't. But they will follow that shape if you show your work correctly. All right, so let's do some new problems. These are going to be the type of problems on your homework tonight, or today, whenever you get around to it. All right, I'm going to cover up the rest of these. I think that's going to make it a little easier for you guys. Okay, that's better. Looks like there's less clutter on the page. Okay, so we're simplifying this. So if you were to see a worksheet maybe a month from now and it had review on it, the directions might say solve. The directions might say simplify. They could say evaluate. Evaluate, that's a big word. I always thought when I saw the word evaluate, it was just like kind of intimidating. Simplify, solve, evaluate, compute. No matter how complicated those words look, you know what they all mean to do? They all mean work it out. Just work it out. That's it. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We've got addition. We have multiplication. We look at our chart and we go, This is where you should be thinking to yourself right now, well, multiplication's first. So, multiplication's first. What's 4 times 5? If you don't know, use a calculator. Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20. I counted by fives 4 times. 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, 20. Bring down this part over here that you didn't use at all. So 16 plus. That line's gone. We just have to figure out what 16 plus 20 is. It is 36. Box off my answer. And look, if I draw lines next to my work, looks the way it's supposed to look. Alright, let's go on to number 10. Trying to keep this up towards like the top. It's easier for me to write on like that. Alright, so this problem we have multiplication and subtraction. Multiplication. Okay, so 12 times 2. 12 times 2 is 24. We bring down that part we didn't use. And then we figure out what's 24 minus 7. 24 minus 7 is 17. And you're done. So always make sure when you write your work out, your lines are angled towards the answer like that. Alright, let's do the next one. I've thrown in parentheses. Let me scooch this paper up some. The keyboard is getting in the way. Okay, so I just need to cover up one more problem. Okay, so we have multiplication, subtraction, and parentheses. Parentheses come first no matter what. So I know automatically I have to do what's inside here. Okay, so 5 minus 2 is 3. And I hope you're thinking in your head, bring down what you don't use. Okay, so we've simplified it. It's not complicated, it's not big anymore and scary looking. Okay, we have to figure out what 20 times 3 is. If you don't know, use your calculator. I'm going to count by 20s 3 times. So 20, 40, 60. Box in my answer. Look at that, same shape. So I've showed my work correctly. And let's look at number 12. I put 2 sets of parentheses in there on you guys. Okay, we know parentheses comes first. That's the rule to follow. Okay, we also have addition and we have multiplication. But no matter what, we've got to do those parentheses first. And if there's 2 of them, we have to do it from left and then do the right. So the left side, if I work these parentheses here out, 2 plus 3, 5. Bring down what you don't use, which is this part right here. We didn't do anything with that part. So I'm going to copy it down just like it looks. I'm going to cover up that line because it's, you know, I don't know about you guys, but when I was in junior high and I saw a big long problem like that, I automatically went and told myself, oh my gosh, look how big this is. This is going to be so hard. When it's not. You guys can use a calculator. You can type it in and figure out what they add to and what they subtract to. The only new part of today's assignment, and yesterday's really, is following these rules right here. I should have pointed that out probably yesterday. You can add, you can subtract. If you get a little flustered, if you get your multiplication confused, or you accidentally subtract when you're supposed to add, you know, whatever you accidentally do to make mistakes, use your calculator. It'll fix those problems for you, and you can still learn this new material, okay? All right, now, I cover up the complicated part, and I look at it, I look at my new line, and I say, okay, multiplication, parentheses, wait a minute, I said parentheses. Well, I don't even have to bother looking at the rest of the problem because I've got to do the parentheses. It has to come first. So, what's 3 plus 1? 4. Bring down this part that you didn't use. Cover it all up. 5 times 4. 20. Okay, you're done. I have complete faith in you guys that you can. The keyboard's in the way. You can do this. Okay, so let me put this under here. We gotta keep our notes in order. We're gonna do a few more examples. 4 exactly. I'm gonna have to scooch my camera here some because I'm just running out of room on my desk. There we go. We try to keep it straight in the camera, but I've got to keep it where I can write on it too. All right, so in this one, I put the same numbers repeated, 3939, because you're going to have one that's repeated just like this in your problem, or in your homework problems. And I just wanted to show you that even though you're kind of like, what, 3939, is this a trick problem? It's not. You work it exactly the same. Addition, multiplication, subtraction. So addition, there we go. Addition, multiplication, and subtraction. That m comes first. So that's what we do first. 9 times 3. If you need to, put it in your calculator. It's 27. There we go. My computer screen stopped. We used the 9, we used the x, we used the 3. We did not use the 3 or the plus sign. We did not use the minus or the 9. Cover it up. You don't have to. I just think it makes it simpler. You say, okay, I've got add and subtract. Well, add and subtract, I work from left to right. So if I start on the left side over here, 3 plus 27 is 30. Bring down what you didn't use. Okay, I didn't use the minus, I didn't use the 9. Then there's no new stuff. We just have to do 30 minus 9. 30 minus 9 is 21. Boxed in my answer. I got the angle there, I got the angle there. So I've showed my work, how I'm supposed to show it. Okay, number 14, that's our example. Okay, multiply, add, divide. So, multiply, add, and divide. Well, if I have multiply and divide, I'm supposed to work them from left to right. So that means if I look at my problem, I work the one that's on the left first. So 6 times 2, 12. Bring down what we didn't use. Plus 4 divided by 2. So now we have addition and division. Addition and division. Division comes first. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. If you have trouble with if you have trouble with division, use your calculator. Okay, we still have our plus sign. We still have that 12. We didn't use those. And then 12 plus 2. 12 plus 2, 12, 13, 14. There's our answer. And that's the general shape my work goes in. So I've showed my work correctly. All right, word problems. I know you guys are going to love these. Okay, I'm going to scooch this up some because I will have trouble writing if I don't. All right, number 15. This paper back down here. Make it a little better to look at. Okay, number 15. You are going to have one, I'm not going to say exactly like this because I changed the numbers. But where should you place parentheses if you want this expression to equal 14? So if we worked it out, we want it to come out to be 14. On your homework, you're going to have 4 choices. You're going to have, you know, on Google Forms, you would have A, B, C, and D, even though they don't have those letters. So I only chose 2 answers to work with, simply because it takes less time and it still teaches you what you need to know. When you have a question like this, it says, where would you put the parentheses to make your answer come out to be 14? You look at your options and you say, oh, those parentheses are in different places. So I need to work both of these out and figure out which one comes out to be 14. Okay, in your homework, you have a C and a D option, so you would have to work all 4 out on your homework. But for the sake of time and keeping your focus, we're going to do 2. So we're going to work this problem out just like we did that one up there at the top. Okay, so I start with the parentheses. Okay, 2 times 4 is 8. I'm on the edge of this paper here. 2 times 4 is 8. Bring down what I don't use. Didn't use the plus sign, didn't use the minus sign, or the 6. Okay, I have add and subtract. And we know if add and subtract are in the same problem, we work it from left to right. So 3 plus 8, 11. Bring down what you didn't use. And then we have 11 minus 6. That's 5. So, does that equal what we need it to? Nope. It's supposed to equal 14. So we know for sure A is not the answer. Now, by default, it has to be the B. But if we had C and D as our options, we would have to work all those out. Okay? I'm still going to work out B just to prove to you it's actually equal to 14. So, again, on this one, we have parentheses, so that's where we start at. I made that a little big. Okay, so 3 plus 2 is 5. Bring down over here the stuff that we didn't use. So times 4 minus 6. Then we ask ourselves, multiply or subtract? Well, multiply comes first. 5 times 4 is 20. Bring down what you don't use. And 20 minus 6 is 14. So B is our answer. Let me just write B over here too. That way if you guys look back at this video, it may be a little easier to find if you need it. Okay, last problem. And I really hope I left myself enough room on this one to work it. Alright, so this is also just like a problem on your homework. I changed somebody's name. They're selling cookies and brownies. They're selling something else in your problem. Alright, let's read it first. Dave sold 6 cookies for $2 each and 21 brownies for $3 each. How much money did he make in sales? Okay, so why Dave is selling these cookies and brownies, who knows, maybe it's a fundraiser. But we can see that he's selling cookies for $2 and brownies for $3. Okay, so he has 2 separate items that he's selling. 2 separate items. Okay, so he's selling cookies for $2 each. Okay, if we look at our posters, I just picked out the ones that I know we need. I'm on multiplication here, the green one. These are posted in classroom under yesterday's work. Now I put in each group. Each is still in there. Okay, this group is, in particular, is the cookies. Okay, so multiplication, and it says each in the problem. We know it's the group of cookies. So each means to multiply. I'm going to put X right here above it. Okay, and then I'm thinking to myself, wait, 21 brownies for $3 each, so that's got to be multiplied as well. So I'm thinking, okay, 6 cookies for $2 each, so I have to multiply those. But then I'd have to multiply these, because he's selling 21 brownies for $3 each, which is kind of expensive for a brownie. My final question asks me, how much money did he make in sales? So if you're making money, how much? How much did he make in sales? If he's selling cookies and brownies, what should we do with those 2 amounts of money? Because he's bringing in this much money in cookies, this much money in brownies. So if he has 2 stacks of cash, here's his cash, another stack of cash. That's a dollar sign, by the way. How do we figure out how much he made altogether? We would have to add those 2 piles of money together. So we would add right there in the center. I left that a little wider than what I should have, but okay, we still haven't answered the question though. How much money did he make in sales? So we have multiplication, addition, and multiplication. Okay, so multiplication, we go left to right. 12. Bring down what we didn't use. I'm going to run out of room. Then we have addition and multiplication. We do a multiplication. 21 and 3, use your calculator, comes out to be 63. Bring down what we didn't use. And then 12 plus 63 comes out to be 75. He made $75 selling cookies and brownies. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I would pay $3 for a brownie unless it was maybe, like the size of this paper. Brownie mix is cheap. Alright, so your homework is in classroom. These problems, I wrote them out following along with your homework. So they go in order with your homework. The only thing I didn't show you today was you have one problem where you'll have the answers written across the top, and you will have the problem, written out over here. These aren't going to be your problems, but I'm just trying to show you an example. Which one have I left out? Let's see. Okay, so you'll have the little boxes underneath them again. I know the first time I saw problems like this, it confused the daylights out of me. That's why I wanted to show you guys. The reason you have problems like this is because when you take state tests, they are super great about putting a ton of these style problems in. Okay, so you just ask yourself, what's 3 times 4? It's 12. So you go across and you say, okay, where's my 12? It's there. Okay, what's 8 plus 2? It's 10. Right there's my 10. 10 plus 4, that's 14. 8 times 6, that's 12. Okay. So notice I didn't use this column at all. That's okay. It's okay. None of those equaled 8, so this is how you should do it. Okay, I know that's confusing. I know I need to quit saying okay so much. I will try in my next video to not say okay so much. Alright, do your homework. If you need me, email me. You know the email. I'm going to write it down though. Oh wait, Marion. Unit2.org. Okay, email me. If you have questions, I will get back to you. Okay, I'd say see you guys on Monday, but there's no school. So remember to get on Tuesday, take your attendance, do your work, and remember on Wednesday, when you guys come for your afternoon classes, it's picture day. Picture day. Next Tuesday and Wednesday. Next Tuesday and Wednesday. Bye, guys.